Hey everyone, back with another blog, testimony blog. Um, Thought to talk a little about ministry and EDM music and Jesus. So I talked about kind of before I got born again, and that was from my EDM, underground, electronic music scene. Life before I was born again, 1996 is when I received Jesus into my life. 1991 to 96 was what I was talking about before this blog. Um, Born again experience, 1996. Um, was in a underground rave in 1995, and just sitting in a rave, listening to the music. I dropped acid, ecstasy. I was on mushrooms, drinking alcohol, 40s. The week before, smoking 2.5 packs of cigarettes a day. Um, Marijuana, the best of the best marijuana. I was just completely what I would call destroyed or obliterated, um, to the point where I'd lost conception of reality, how to think straight, how to speak English. You could say my communication skills was very uh, non-existent. So I was sitting in a rave. I told myself I wasn't going to do acid that night, and I dropped acid. Somebody had given it to me for free. It wasn't even like the first bag is usually free. Somebody will give you drugs saying, oh, the first one's free. Just try it, for free. This was almost like the last bag is for free. The devil, I believe, was trying to get me back on drugs by offering me this free hit of acid. And I had told myself I will not do acid for the second or third night in a row. And this guy gave it to me for free. I'd taken it, and once you're on it, you cannot stop the trip. So I ran to every dance floor that night to try to find a hot-looking girl in the nightclub, or not nightclub, but in that rave. And I couldn't find her before I started peeking. Matter of fact, there was nobody even there. I'd come early to the event, so I ran out to the outside area where the three dance floors were, and I just heard this thump, dawn, 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 in the background, and I just was fed up with that repetitive beat, the repetitive house music, trance music beat, of which I'll talk about later, of how I'm more like breakbeat, side breaks, and I like mixing up beats now rather than just the simple house beat. But God met me there and he said, you could do this for me. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you could do events like this, but for free. You could find that one person that I believe that you should be with your entire life instead of looking for her here. I'm on Sunset Strip. There's some stuff in the background. I'm going to try and keep this to 5 minutes, by the way, so I'm kind of rushing through this little testimony of how I got born again in this rave, 1996, 95, 96, right there, December of 95. So basically, Jesus appeared to me, had this conversation with me, and said, you can do this kind of stuff for me. I'll find you that wife. I will let you do these things, but sober. And that's how Jesus Rave got born, in that rave in 95, 96. So in 1996, January 1st, 1996 is my born again and sober date 20 years ago, where I'd given my life to the Lord. And the journey that I'll talk about in later videos will be about the turntables, how I gave them up for God for about 8 years to dive into the ministry. And what else? So basically, that's it. I mean, I went home from that event and I decided I want to start going to church. I want to start serving the Lord and doing things for God. and I'll talk about that in upcoming videos. If you have any comments or questions about that experience and what more I was impacted, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer any questions you guys have just about the born again experience. But there'll be great testimony. It's kind of a long testimony in the future videos that will be up. Okay, about like finding my Judaism, of how I was Jewish in ethnicity and how that impacted me and in my ministry. Yet again, future videos. So stay tuned. Be blessed.